Welcome everyone. If you have one of our signs or MSPCA and you want to stand behind me on the steps, that'd be fabulous. Welcome to the rally to protect animals from rodenticides. I'm so happy to see you. I'm just so thrilled to see everyone here today together at the State House. We are here to speak for the voiceless, our wildlife and pets. We know that here in Massachusetts, we have an opportunity to be an example for other states because of leadership of so many of the people who are here today. I'm just one cog in a big wheel of a movement, and there's so many other leaders in this crowd. So I'm just incredibly honored and grateful to be here and with you. My name is Heather Packard. I am the Mass Audubon Community Organizer. I've been working alongside you for the last 2 years to end the use of anticoagulant rodent poisons. And today is a day many of us have been waiting for a long time, a hearing on a bill that would actually phase out the use of these dangerous poisons. So exciting. I want to remind everyone though, just because there's some people in the crowd who might be newer, what is it? What are we doing here? Why must we stop the use of these rodent poisons? And I'm going to recap a quick anticoagulant poison pathway, all right? So can someone hold the mic for me? That would be great. All right, so here we have a rodent problem. Oh no, there's a rat. Who do you call? All right? Well, you call a pest control company typically, and they come and take care of it. And that's as far as the story goes for most of us, all right? But sadly, it doesn't stop there for our pets and our wildlife. So basically what happens is at first there's poison. Now this is fake poison, right? So there's poison, however it's distributed and applied, whether it's broadcasted or put in one of these bait boxes that we all have seen everywhere. I'm sure there are plenty around the State House if you went for a walk, all right? So here comes our innocent little rat or mouse, and they eat that poison. But as they leave the bait box and the poison, they themselves are now poisoned. They are poisoned. They're walking around like little ticking time bombs and poison. And who are they poisonous to? Well, anything that eats them, right? So what eats a rat or a mouse? So many wildlife. Raptors, birds, hawks, owls, foxes, all kinds of animals want live prey. It takes up to 10 days for this rat to die, so animals that like live prey will eat it. Animals that eat other animals that have died, like scavengers, are eating it. Our pets, MSPCA, fabulous partner here with us today, representing the fact that pets are being harmed by it. We all know that dogs will go after, and cats will go after mice and rats, whether they're live or have died, right? So we need to protect our wildlife and pets from these very dangerous poisons. And what about these particular anticoagulant poisons is the problem? Well, I can hold this down. Thank you. They actually bioaccumulate, all right? So that means that they don't break down. They can take over 10 months to break down. So if that first poisonous rat doesn't get the wildlife, the second or third will, because the poisons are also bioaccumulating in the predators too, all right, in their livers. So they're slow acting, taking all these days to kill, and the predators themselves are gradually also becoming more and more ill and eventually passing away from it. Whenever I see any kind of hawk or owl in an urban setting anymore, my heart is in my throat because I know they already have rodenticides in their liver. I am confident of it because it is so common because these bait boxes are everywhere in urban settings. MDAR actually reports that over 500,000 pounds of anticoagulant rodenticides are used annually in Massachusetts, resulting in thousands of animals needlessly suffering and dying from it. So we support rodent control. We understand it totally is needed. We simply want the pest control companies to switch to any of the numerous proven effective animal safe methods that focus on exclusion and sanitation and even rodent contraceptives. It's called integrated pest management, and it includes as a last resort, and only a last resort, existing rat poisons that do not bioaccumulate. So All the activists that are here today have been motivated by heartbreaking stories of wildlife and pets needlessly suffering and dying from anticoagulant rodenticide poisoning. Mine was this baby bobcat. So the baby bobcat was found by the urban wildlife rehabilitators in Western Massachusetts. They did all they could to save him, but this tiny little baby, who had been fed poisoned prey by his mother, declined rapidly and died in their arms. Cape Ann Wildlife did the testing to confirm that he died with lethal levels of rat poison in his tiny liver. These are those stories, and sadly there are hundreds that have inspired all of us to drive all the way to Boston to talk with our legislators today and to organize back in our own communities at home. In fact, over 95 communities are organizing, to my knowledge. 43 towns have reduced the use of these poisons on public property. 19 municipalities have now approved the filing of a home rule petition to request authority to prohibit rodenticides on private property. You can see the map. In California, they actually passed a moratorium on anticoagulant rodenticides first in 2021, and then they closed a loophole in 2023, and they have actually seen a decline in rodent complaints statewide. So, for more than a decade, we have been over-relying on rodent poisons, such as anticoagulant rodenticides, as the primary means of pest control. And it has resulted in rodenticide-poisoned rodents passing it on to thousands of predators and scavengers in Massachusetts. A full toxic food web has been created, and our critical ecosystems and public health are at risk. We must act now to end the use of these anticoagulant rodent poisons and switch to proven effective alternatives. Let's together be the voice for those voiceless, and let's be a loud voice. So, I am honored today to introduce the sponsors for the bill, which I hope are here somewhere behind me. There's Jim, great. So Rep. Hawkins has been an advocate on this issue for many years. And Senator Michael Moore has joined, and the two of them have sponsored the bill that we are here today to speak for at the hearing. So they have been in charge of this advocacy here at our State House, and I'm so grateful for their leadership. Rep. Hawkins.
Thank you, Heather. Do I need to look at that bait box? Thank you. This started 2 sessions ago with a constituent suggestion to me, and we filed the first bill, which had to do with data collection, because we wanted enough evidence to show that we don't need to be using these chemicals. And the minute we filed the bill, we had instantly 33 well-known organizations like Audubon, like MSPCA, like New England Wildlife, vocally supporting this bill. And part of that work is done because the data is available now. People know about it, word has spread. People know not to use these a lot more than they ever did a couple years ago. But the next step is to actually reduce the use of this, which is what the new bill is about. So, a couple of things going into today's hearing. One thing is, this is the will of the people. We have close to 100 communities taking one action or another, a home rule petition, banning it on city properties, whatever it is they're doing, or they're debating it in city council chambers. Close to 100, that's a third of the communities in this state who are actively doing something to reduce the use of pesticides. And within this building, I don't have the current count, but I think we're over 100 co-sponsors, which means out of 200 people, more than half the people in the legislature, and not everybody co-sponsors bills at all. Some people just don't.
Jim,
so this is
140.
140. That's unbelievable. Thank you, Senator. That's crazy. That's like 3/4 of the legislature supports this. So we have momentum. There is no safe way to use these chemicals. There is no safe way to use these chemicals. So please go into the hearing. One of the things the committee is going to be deciding to release this, so be respectful of them. They have over 100 people signed up today, so they're limiting everybody to 2 minutes. Be nice to them. They're going to be here. It's going to be a long hearing for them, so please be nice to my colleagues and friends on the panel. And Senator Moore, Senator Moore has joined this effort, and he is my partner in crime. What a person to reckon with. I'm so glad that you're carrying this on the Senate side.
Thanks, Jim. And actually, I want to thank Jim, the New England Wildlife Center, MSPCA, for everyone reaching out to me last session to get involved in this issue. Be honest with you, I think like 90% of the public didn't realize the issue of rodenticides. And once you hear about the issue, you know, a common theme up here when legislation is filed and people are in the street ask a question, why can't that legislation be passed? It's common sense. So this is really common sense legislation that we have already seen. As I'm saying, I think 35 municipalities have tried to address it in different manners. We've got the 19 home rule petitions here that we're trying to address. And, you know, one good thing about Massachusetts, well, I shouldn't say one good thing, we have many good things about Massachusetts, but one really specifically good thing about Massachusetts is that we like to do things that's evidence-based, based on data. And the fact that we've got a state of California that has already looked at this, passed it, readdressed it, addressed the loopholes, gives us the format to move forward that we know that we can positively address public health concerns with the disposal of waste and still address the safety of our pets and wildlife. Now, as Jim was speaking, and I'm thinking about the New England Wildlife Center and a friend that they have with us, Falco, that they're going to be, hopefully they're going to be showing soon about a bird that was actually suffering from contamination or exposure to SGARs. I was thinking about, I was in the kitchen about a month ago. I live in the town of Millbury, right outside the city of Worcester. As I'm looking out the window, there was a bobcat, literally like 15, 20 feet from my house. And it didn't dawn on me then, but it did now as we're talking about this. That's the type of wildlife that could very easily have been exposed to something like this. And most of us don't know that these predators are that close to our neighborhoods. As we continually encroach upon the habitats of our wildlife, we're continually exposing them to the hazards that we put out there every day. And again, this legislation is so critical in protecting those animals and wildlife, and again, our pets. So thank you for being here. Now, this is important. As Rep. Hawkins said, we have to be respectful in there. But remember, there's 6,800 to 7,000 pieces of legislation that are going to be going through this building. What pieces of legislation are going to be addressed? The ones that receive the most attention and the grassroots effort move up. It's got to go beyond just myself and Rep. Hawkins. And I can tell you, he deserves so much credit in moving this issue forward. So go into the hearing, attend the hearing, testify, be respectful, but it doesn't end there. We need you after this hearing to reach out to your legislators and say, we need this done now. Thank you. Thank you for attending such an important issue.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Senator Moore and Rep. Hawkins, for your leadership on this critical issue. And now, I think they're bringing out our favorite and most influential advocate, possibly. Falco, red-tailed hawk from New England Wildlife Center, is joining us today with Falco's friend, Zach Mertz, the CEO of New England Wildlife Center. And we're so glad that they could join us today for the hearing. Thank you, Zach and Falco.
One second, guys.
Just a second. Falco needs a moment. Feeling a little shy. Yep. It's a crowd here for Falco today. Last time I were here for the lobby day in July, one of the advocates took a picture of the statue around the corner here with a red-tailed hawk sitting right on the statue's head. I don't know if some of you saw that on Facebook. It was such a wonderful moment. Like, even the wild red-tailed hawks were joining us for lobby day in July. And here is Falco and Zach. Woo!
Thank you so much. Sorry, hasn't had his mice yet this morning. I'm a little cranky. I just want to say it's an absolute honor to be here with all of you today, and just thank you so much for all of your grassroots advocacy and everything you've done to move the needle on this issue. At the New England Wildlife Centers, we've been treating rodenticide cases for going on 2 decades. That's 20 years of seeing hawks, owls, foxes sickened, dying from this type of poison. It's a horrible thing to have an upfront seat to. Here, buddy. There we go. But I can't tell you how much this means to all of us in the wildlife rehabilitation community. I know we're joined by several other notable wildlife rehabilitators here today, that this much support and this much focus is finally being shown. Every single day in our hospital, we see patients come in. Last year, on the order of 120 cases came in sickened by anticoagulant rodenticides, 2 of which were right here from Boston Common. So, as we go through this hearing today, sharing your personal stories, as will we, has an enormous impact. We're very, very lucky here in the state of Massachusetts to have such amazing natural capital, right? We have an incredible amount of forest and habitat for birds like Falco, and we need to protect that. This is certainly not an end to rodent control. This is a paradigm shift to empower our natural rodent control. And so, with that, I want to say thank you, and we look forward to working.
Thank you so much. We all know that's our favorite advocate, right? Thank you, Zach and Falco. So it's nearly time now to head into the State House for the hearing. It starts at 1. But looking at the crowd here today and knowing about the fact that there are also virtual testifying that's going to occur, we may be more than sometimes show up for a hearing, as Rep. Hawkins and Senator Moore have referenced. And it may slow down the hearing process. But I want you to be proud of that, because it's our goal to have so many of us here that they can't forget our wildlife and pets. So even if the hearing runs late or we have to shorten our testimony today, that is a win, all right? Please be patient with our legislators and their staff during the hearing. They will be doing their very best to give all of us a chance to speak. I will. Yeah, give all of us a chance to speak who are here today and virtually. And remember also that you can always share your stories in written testimony too. So let's go tell them in one strong voice together: stop the use of anticoagulant rodenticides and pass the bill. All right, time to go inside.
Okay, I'm gonna have my volunteer.